What is going on YouTube? Happy Sunday, everybody. Hope everybody had a fantastic weekend, and we are gearing up for the markets to do futures here in the equity space. But this video is only going to be about Bitcoin. Guys, and this video is brought to you by BITGET. Our tournament starts July 1st. You can only access this tournament, a private tournament, with our link and get all the bonuses and everything and future tournament invites with our link in the video description. Check them out. You don't need a VPN. There's no special country requirements. It costs you nothing. Check out BitGet. I think you guys would love the platform. Guys, if you want to trade with us, definitely use the join button underneath the YouTube video or sign up for our Telegrams. Again, that link in the video description. Let's talk about what's happening in Bitcoin. Guys, a lot of people in the comments are asking me to comment on the Celsius debacle. Obviously, we had the Luna debacle. So I'm going to cover a couple of these quick stories, okay? This is from the Wall Street Journal, and it was reposted here by Blockworks. Celsius enlists advisors for potential bankruptcy, according to Wall Street Journal report. Now, the key takeaway here is what you need to see here. In the event that Celsius becomes bankrupt, which is most likely going to happen, enters liquidation, or is otherwise unable to repay its obligations, you may not be able to recover or regain ownership of such digital assets. Celsius's terms of use state. Remember, it was leaked out recently, same thing with Coinbase. Not that Coinbase is going under, but Coinbase's legal documents say they are the primary custodian of the assets. So they get first dibs on your crypto. This went all viral on Twitter as well. I just want to reinforce, guys, only keep what you trade, no matter what exchange you use. Only keep what you trade on that exchange. Be very careful of any of these high yield schemes, because a lot of them were Ponzi schemes. A lot of them made risky bets. I watched a Peter Schiff debate with Alex Mashinsky from Celsius from 7 months ago. You can go to Schiff's podcast. Obviously, he's not a fan of crypto, but the debate was about his basically the business practices is what it tilted towards at the end of the debate of Celsius. And Peter Schiff called him Bernie Madoff, and Bernie Madoff was famous for running a big Ponzi scheme. And of course, what happened with Celsius 7 months later? They transferred tens of millions of dollars, by the way, to FTX in digital assets. Tens of millions of dollars. So we're going to cover that in a second. Be very careful with these exchanges. There's more exchanges on the verge of bankruptcy. Here's another one. This is crypto platform Voyager Digital. Shares plunged 60% after revealing $665 million exposure to embattled hedge fund considers issuing default notice. So they basically have, there's a hedge fund in Asia, I believe, is where it's based, Three Arrows. They have exposure to them, including 15,250 Bitcoin and 350 million worth of USDC. Okay, this story ties into the next story. So there's a hedge fund going under that loaned out billions, that repurposed billions in digital assets. There's exchanges tied to this hedge fund. And then you have this guy. We have Bitcoin billionaire Sam Bankman-Fried. That's a tough one for me. Bails out and battled crypto firms BlockFi and Voyager. So then you have another one, BlockFi, which I believe is a lender. FTX, Bankman-Fried's crypto exchange, agreed to provide crypto lender BlockFi with a $250 million revolving credit facility. Alameda, Bankman-Fried's quantitative trading firm, committed $500 million in financing to Voyager Digital, a crypto brokerage. I don't think he's going to get any of this money back, by the way. I think, look, in a free market, this is the problem that we had in 2008 with the great financial crisis. The government came in this case, Bankman-Fried, the government came in and bailed out all these banks that took risky derivatives bets, that took a lot of risk with subprime mortgages, and we basically reinforced their negative practices. And the only people that got rich from that, by the way, all the taxpayers had to pay for that, were the CEOs, the executives in those companies, and then they go and do the same thing over and over again. That's why these bubbles always come back around. As a more of a populist, by the way, I do think the tens of millions of dollars transferred from Celsius to FTX, very suspicious to me. I know a lot of people like Bankman-Fried. Well, why doesn't he turn around? He's a billionaire. Why doesn't he turn around and give those people back their assets? 1.5 million users on Celsius. Is he going to give them back their crypto? No, he's probably going to keep it, guys. So, wait, is this the right article? Is this the guy from Stranger Things? Oh, it's Bankman-Fried. So this is Stranger Fried. So, yeah, so Stranger Fried loaned out loaned out all of this money. He's basically acting as a bank for failing exchanges. We'll see if this was a good decision. I personally don't think it was. In a free market, I want the strong to survive and the weak to die. That's what you want. If you take risky bets and you get called on it, you lose. That's it. You lose. Now, it would be great if Bankman-Fried, instead of loaning that money out, would somehow reimburse people who lost money. That would do a lot more for the crypto community, by the way. If you had a very wealthy young billionaire say, what did you lose? What did you lose? What did you lose? Hey, instead of loaning these companies that lost your money, I'm going to give it back to the people. But, that won't happen. I know that's very far out there, but I'm just saying, instead of loaning a failing company money, hundreds of millions of dollars, and they still may fail even after that loan, so he won't get repaid, that money could have gone back to the people, and so could all the tens of millions in assets that Celsius appears to be either trying to hide or move away from them, so maybe they're not tied to them. Who knows what's going on? I'm just giving you my thoughts, guys. I am not an investigative journalist. But let's go ahead and talk about Bitcoin. That's what this video is about. Bitcoin on the weekly. So I had to laugh because I know we get new subs all the time, guys. This is our 1 year anniversary. We started with 12 subs on YouTube and now have over 22,000. So please do click the like button and subscribe button if you do like these videos, because we've grown exponentially. It's all thanks to you guys. But a lot of people keep saying, show that Elliott Wave weekly pattern again. So just to be clear, guys, I don't trade an Elliott Wave. I don't know the rules for Elliott Wave. I don't trade an Elliott Wave. This is my market pattern, a price pulse pattern. It is based on a Gann market pattern, which is based on natural law, the law of three, and I married it to fibs, okay? So this involves 3 impulse waves starting at the beginning of the bull run. 3-wave impulse. You see this? Wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, and then you have an ABC correction. For those of you that may not be aware, this is very common in advanced Fibonacci. The market moves in threes. This is how you have ABC corrections, 3 candlestick reversal patterns, 3 white soldiers, 3 black crows, head and shoulders pattern. Lots of market patterns, 3 falling peaks, 3 rising valleys are based on the law of 3, including this Gann pattern, okay? And when you scroll back, this is the exact same macro pattern Bitcoin did in the previous bull run. Okay, so this is a forecasting pattern. I don't trade with this pattern. I mean, yes, this 48,266 trade did give excellent confluence with this large ABC correction here, with as well in the daily with the 200, 233 there, and that was a great short for the room, which dropped originally 47% plus then some. Okay, so that's something else. But guys, let's go ahead and talk about this. What I went ahead and updated this for those of you that have been watching these videos regularly. I moved the wave over to where we are now. Could this be the bottom? It could be. By the way, this was one of our defined targets, 17,956. Again, months I've had this pattern out here now. This was the deepest retracement level that I identified, 17,956. And where did price get to, guys? 17,567. So within $400 on a $17,500 asset. So I'm sorry I couldn't do a better job for you, but that's pretty good, okay? Within $400, and this pattern's been out here for months. We got to the deepest retracement level. Could this be the beginning of our wave up, or are we just going to fall back down? As you guys know, as traders, we trade the market in segments, and we got to flip the 200 and 233. Till that happens, I'm not interested in other people's videos forecasting 100K, 500K, a million in the next year, okay? I look at the near term because I trade. We got to flip these. So we're going to go ahead and fast forward through some of these smaller time frames, smaller than the weekly. This is the daily, guys. Daily time frame. Here's my Donchian channel, and as you can see up here, of course, on the top, you can see the 200, 233, and the 144 all near the top. And guys, this is my market top, okay? You're not going to hear me say 100K, because until you flip this in a descending market, we are in a bear market. We've had a parabolic drop over the last, whatever this has been now, 6 months. We just keep legging down. But until we can flip this is your market top for now. And this is roughly 37, what is that? 37.7, and what's this one at now? 38,342. I think that was at 38,750. So basically, since my last video, what a day and a half ago again, it's dropped 400 points, $400. So this is really flat, guys. And when we look at this, you can see here on volume down here, there's no volume. You see that? There's no volume at all. Now, again, let's go ahead and look at the indicators here on the daily. So here's my other volume, so you can see the colored bars, but well below the 21 moving average, as you can see. I mean, these candles are so weak. Looking at my money flow index right here, this is basically a volume weighted RSI. I suggest you guys try it out if you do like to trade with an RSI. This is actually the stock version. I was playing around with MFI. It's called MFI. I was playing around with it in TradingView, and I didn't like any of the other versions. They had too many other things, or they just looked really chunky and clunky. I might talk to Fractal Trade 15, see if he can make us a cool one. But I really do like this indicator. It's basically money flow into an asset. So what the RSI does is relative strength. It's based on price calculations. What the MFI does is it takes into account volume. So it's basically a volume weighted RSI. So it's a fantastic indicator. And as you can see, it was oversold. Coming back, we have a median line here. We are still in this bearish trend. Down here is my EFI. This is Elder Force. This measures the move and force and velocity behind the move. Okay, so this does volume price calculations with duration. And as you can see, it's just kind of meh. Right? It's not really taking off. It's not sinking, but it's not flying up either. Down here, some of you may recognize this. This is a modified CCI, commodity channel index. This is modified with my whole 55. This is not a good indicator in a choppy market like this. You get way too many signals. But in a trending market, when the trending market breaks down, it's a very strong indicator. Guys, I'm going to make an indicator list. I already have it in my Discord, and we'll post it on the website. A lot of people keep asking me about specific indicators. I have indicators I trade with when I'm doing my personal trading. I have indicators I like to present with. These are some of my trading indicators, okay? Presentation indicators tend to be things that can show you what's happening in the market. And these are some of my trading indicators. But I'll put a list together and throw it up on our website. So give us, I'll update you tomorrow's video, but you can check out the website tomorrow. We also have some new articles and some new shorts in there. You can also, shorts as in like short video clips, and you can also check out some of our previous trades on the website. And there's a free registration there as well. So daily time frame, again, everything is kind of flat. Everything's kind of dull. And looking at this, looking here on, what is this, the 8 hour? I mean, right off the bat, guys, you see this? So you do have a Wyckoff structure, but I want to show you this. You have my favorite pattern, a dragon pattern, okay? You do have a dragon pattern that formed. You could say, again, this isn't something I'm necessarily looking to trade at the moment. The equities are ripping. Bitcoin is basing. It could look to hold a base and move up, but the volume, just looking at my overlay here, is just so dead. Okay, it's extremely dead. No breakout bars, nothing for a long time here. So you're just getting these tiny wave patterns. And again, this is that daily support level here, the 20,933. Also from the weekly, 20,933, guys. We got to keep above that, because if we don't, just like we predicted on this channel, the 618 at 18,230, that would be where we could fall to. So you have to be very careful about that. And let's look at some of the 8 hour stuff here. So our MFI is going into overbought area, so you may just be basing here a while. There's no velocity behind this move, and volume, once again, you can just see is declining, well below the 21. So not a lot to show you on the 8 hour. 4 hour time frame, little bit different here. So we're looking at the 4 hour, guys, and as you can see here on the 4 hour, you have your 45 angle that we talked about. Now price didn't keep going sideways. As you can see, it's starting to escalate up. You're at the top of the Donchian, and when you're trading in a Donchian channel, the top can be a prelude to a breakout, or it can be max resistance where you start to roll down. So we have to see what happens here. As you can see, we hit the top of the Donchian. Price is starting to descend. Here's our whole 55. Okay, our moving average from Fractal Trade 15, our whole 55, our trend indicator, falling below it here. But again, what we're trying to do here, and you can see the Wyckoff structure. You can see you're selling climax. You can see your reaction, and you made your cup, right? You made your cup pattern. You're trying to establish some type of base here, and I think you're going to end up using this 45 as support. So you get some price come down, price come up, use this 45. If the markets continue to rip next week, which they could, but if they continue to rip up next week, maybe we can see some movement here in Bitcoin, okay? So this would be very good. And obviously, if it falls back through this 45, I would expect it to descend. And let's get, you know what we didn't do? We didn't do a projection, or I didn't cover it at least, the fib targets to the upside for Bitcoin. That's what we need to look at here as well. Well, let's do that in the current trend. We'll do it here on the 4 hour because that's where most of you guys are probably trading in these smaller time frames. So let's just get this base down here, go up to this peak, to that swing low. And you can see here in the 4 hour time frame getting rejected at the 0.5. You see that? Hit the 0.5, 21,823. The 618 is at 22,312. The 1 fib is at 23,895. Remember, when trading primary fib structures like this, you notice I don't have the 786, 886. This is primary fib structure trading. And, you know, Dow believed, Gann believed, and Wyckoff, well, not Wyckoff, Dow and Gann basically believed. Dow was 66%, Gann was 62.5%, but anything beyond that, they believed would be a reversal. Okay, reversal meaning it would go have a bias to go to the upside. And so this is something that I trade in this fashion. So 618, if you can base on that, you can move up to that with a bias. Okay, so looking at that, 22,312 will be key if you can come up and challenge it. And of course, guys, you can always retrace between, which is why a lot of people do like those secondary support and resistance levels, 786, 886. But the 1618, where's that target at? Let's go ahead and pull that down. That is at 26,455 on the 4 hour. And again, the 4 hour, keeping these circled. The 200 and 233, guys. 26,1 and 26,160. And just like on the daily, how that's our market top. This is really the real market top until this is flipped with any amount of conviction. As you guys know, this destroyed us, okay? This destroyed us recently, made us have this big fall down. So this will eventually come down. We are at 26K roughly, and price is roughly at 21. So we're like 5,000 points apart from this again. And, you know, you start looking at confluence and how things lay out. When you're looking at confluence of things, this is below the 1618. So if price did start ripping up, if it comes down, finds a base, starts moving up, right, comes up in waves, you're going to have an impact at some juncture. And, you know, I start to look at ceilings for the move. And you start looking at the 1618 at 26,455. Or if this keeps descending and price doesn't come up yet, then if this keeps descending and price doesn't come up and it comes up to, say, here near the 1 fib, 23,895, as these descend, you have to flip these with velocity, with conviction, with bullish volume breakout, which we have not had yet, okay? Been in a nasty, nasty bear market, as you can see here on the colored candles as well. I mean, just the only big candle we've had here in recent trend in the 4 hours, a selling candle, bunch of null candles. So you need some big candles to start moving up, guys. This is just down, left to right. Money flow, we are down on the money flow, about to cross into bearish territory. Zero force behind this move. I mean, look at this. Zero force behind this move. There's just nothing. There's no money flowing into the asset, okay? Very weak asset movement. You look at this, you want the wave type pattern. You want some confluence with your other indicators to get waves, okay? And this is a smaller time frame, 4 hour time frame, but just be aware of that. Let's look at the 1 hour. I know a lot of you guys like the 1 hour. So, the other thing on the 4 hour I want to show you guys. Go back. I shouldn't have clicked that fast. I think I messed TradingView up. Come on. Come back, TradingView. All right. I have problems with Chrome. Do any of you guys have problems with Chrome with TradingView? It does this where it blacks out sometimes. I don't know. I guess maybe I should try another browser. I just refuse to use anything Microsoft. But let me show you this real quick. I want to show you guys this. So looking at this, we talked about this last video, so I like to keep everything current. But we talked about the possibility here, again, made the cup, right? You got your cup pattern. We talked about possibly, looking at trade entries for breakouts. And I showed you the top of that pattern here. Why is that doing that? Let me make this visible for you guys. Give me a line. There we go. We got this pattern. You can see actually we're getting rejected right on this wick, right? So we went up above the 0.5. We're now below this. For me to consider trading any type of bullish move, guys, I talked about a potential trigger order type situation. You got to have volume. You guys know I trade heavily in volume, and you're below the 20. You're below the 21. Looking at my my volume strength of the move, I mean, you're not. You need volume to break out. I want to see big volume bars break out above this trigger. Okay, that's what I want to see for a move. You don't have that. You have ranging consolidation, but you do have, once again, just like you had in here and you fell back down and retraced, you're just building this higher low structure once again, okay? This should roll over at some point. Maybe that's what it's doing here. Come to support and look to move up. Let's go to the 1 hour time frame. 1 hour time frame. So you made a little bit of progress in the 1 hour. Here's your 200, the white line. Here's your 233, the colored line. You see this? You got your cut pattern we talked about, and you got above it, and now you're using the 233 as a base, try to get some type of movement, but price is just weak, and you just fell back below the 233. This is very indicative of Bitcoin, okay? This is what's happening. Again, my thesis is the equities markets need to make substantial progress to move up. If they continue to move up, the SPX continues to move to that 4,000 target, you may see some more euphoria in the Bitcoin market. Again, I'm just not interested in these high-flying targets people are talking about until you can flip the low targets. The low-hanging fruit must be picked before you can move up. View the market in segments, right? Let's look at our indicators here on the 1 hour time frame. Money flow is bearish. Force of the move is bearish. Volume is, other than the selling, volume is down. Okay, you got one big selling bar. So when you came up to this level, which was at 0.5 on the 4 hour chart, that 21,872 area, you just got supply dumped on you and price fell apart. Okay, lots of resistance, guys. The moves are pretty weak. Let's see what the Ichi cloud looks like here. And this video is getting long, so I'll wrap it up. Check out my equities video. I'll be putting that out next, guys, if you want to get an update on the equities and what's happening in those markets. So you're falling back down basically to your support cloud. You see this? You're falling back down to your support cloud. Now, we need to update this 1 hour wave because, as you can see, this was that tighter wave projection that we did for this move, and it turned out to be really nice because this is the 1618 right here at 21,269, and you're using it as support. But let's go ahead and update this wave. Let's take the trend-based fib. Let's go to our swing low, guys. Go up to a swing high here in range and pull this back down to, which one's lower? 20,900, 20,901, dollar difference right there. And then on here, 21,792, 1 hour time frame. You see your wick and you fell apart. Okay, so you're falling apart. You'll see if you can hold this. If not, then what you're doing is you are in a distribution box. There's your ceiling, there's your base, here's your volatility, here's your attempted cup that failed, second cup broke out, got above the moving average, tried to get your pump, right? This would be your Livermore pivot on a small time frame, on a 1 hour time frame. Try to get your pump, got rejected, and now you're losing the structure that you built. So again, bearish. You're losing the structure. Got to see if you can hold this higher low here. If you can come back down for support. If not, once again, your 45 is over here. You'll be trending towards it. This will kind of, not a make or break moment, guys, but this will kind of define if you are going to hold this higher structure or potentially start to see more downside. And again, you can keep track that on your 4 hour time frame. My free GAN video on how to lay out these fans, if you're interested in it, go ahead and search on our website. Just type in GAN fan, and or not our website, I'm sorry, on our YouTube, and you'll see the video. I think 4,000 people or something have watched it now, so it's a great video. It helps you guys lay these trends out. Okay, all right, but everybody have a fantastic day. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Talk soon.